Hey guys, I am back. Hope you're doing well. It's been a bit challenging for me to get back doing this on a regular basis, but it's coming along. It's happening. Hope you guys are having a nice afternoon or whatever time it is where you're at. If you guys are some of the first people, hey Mariella, hey Julie, hey Kathleen, if you could just press that little button down there, thanks. Hey Carolyn, and then invite some more people in. So today, I was just thinking, I did that Q&A, was it yesterday or I don't even remember when I did that Q&A. Hey Pete, but someone was asking me, I think, whether I preferred mountains or oceans, I think might have been the question. So it got me to thinking, and got me to thinking about where I grew up. Mountains and oceans are very easily accessible, and so it's just from when I was a kid to when I was adult, I would often go to the beach or hike around where I used to live. Because what it reminded me of, the question that came to me from that was like, are there places, like all of us probably have places or moments in our life that we remember and we maybe reminisce or long for, and it might be the place, but it might be a moment at that place. Um, for me, it's what I'm thinking about is just a place that I used to hike around, and um, I just remember I'd hike by myself. I mean, it wasn't like too remote. In fact, this particular hike that I went on, was actually pretty busy. It was not far outside of town, and if you guys remember, one of the drawings that I did when I was about me almost drowning at the beach down here, what I'm drawing is the beach that I almost drowned at. That was not such a good memory, but this area itself, I really enjoyed hiking because you could just drive to the trailhead, which wasn't hard. It was just like literally like just 5 minutes outside of the town, and you would hike out, and you could go out to one beach, which is like off screen over here, but you could then hike over the hill to get to this beach here. And then if you hiked all the way down to this beach, there was a little town there, and there was like an old, it's like an inn and a pub, and yeah, really good shepherd's pie that I would get there. Not necessarily when I went hiking, because you didn't really want to um, fill up, while you're hiking like that. But I get there, get like a quick lunch, and it was a good destination after a long hike. Thank you, Lorna. Hey, Laura. Yeah, it was definitely beautiful, Donna. Hey, Mindy. Hey, Rana. Angie, you're watching from Ontario. Cool. Um, but I'm sure you guys have places that either like maybe they've been torn down. There was like a place that they don't have anymore, or maybe um, it was just being at a certain place and time that you can't get to anymore because maybe you've moved, or maybe you're just not as mobile as you used to be. But they're still there as long as you can remember. And that's how I feel. Like, even though you can't physically be somewhere, you can always remember about being in those places and what you liked, and remember the sights and the smells and the sounds. If anybody hears from the San Francisco Bay Area, you might know this area. This down here is Muir Beach, and I used to take it's called the Tennessee Valley trailhead over to Muir Beach. Oh, I'm glad to be back, Pamela. Cool. Glad you could watch, Christina. Hey, Linda. There's plenty of other places that I can think of that kind of the same feelings about nostalgia, but this one just kind of popped into my mind. And sometimes it might not necessarily be an actual place, but just like spending time with somebody or people, friends, family that might no longer be around or have scattered to the winds over time. Tammy, yes. So I'm going to finish the Star Wars set. Anna's, I think she's doing schoolwork. I don't know when I'm going to finish it, but we're gonna set it up once we're done. Okay, so starting with the pencils. Thanks, Angela. Glad you caught me alive, Catherine. Appreciate you being here, as I appreciate all of you. Diane, the story of me almost drowning out. I did on another video. You can go back and watch. But yeah, I was about 8, and I was somewhere around here, down here. But yeah, I drew a whole picture and told the story about that. Thank you for your compliments, guys. Like, all this up here, it's all prime real estate. Like, very wealthy people live all up here. It's not a place that I ever really hung out in, but I would hang out at the beach down here. Thanks, Sharon. Hey, Karen. Hello, Shelby and Kathy. But this hike was pretty cool because it was like kind of a good hike that you could start off in the late morning and get out to early afternoon and then come back, get back by mid afternoon. Kathy says, the artistic gene runs rampant in my family. Unfortunately, it missed me. Oh. Well, the thing about art is it's very subjective and it's really about if you're enjoying doing it. If you don't enjoy it, then, you could be an incredible artist, but if you don't enjoy it, then you wouldn't do it. I mean, but I think anybody can learn to bring out that artistic part of themselves. And again, it's subjective. You might not like it, but maybe somebody else does. And again, it's just really is about whether you like doing it. Some people think Picasso was an amazing artist. Some people just don't get it. It's just really, it's an individual preference thing. Doesn't mean your opinion is more valid than others. It's just, again, does it help you? Does it bring something out in you? That's how I feel about it anyway. That's my opinion on the matter. Thanks, Angela. Yeah, Catherine says, my favorite place to hang out was at my church's youth cafe on Friday and Saturday nights. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of great memories that you have from there. Some of your ideas or memories. Hey, Martha. I'm well, Ruth. How are you? Tina says, my artwork creates conversation. People say, what in the world is that? Yeah, if it gets a response, that's cool. I mean, I think in some cases, any kind of response is better than no response. It amazes me how fast you could draw. Well, I do like sketching. It's something I've always loved doing, even more so than doing like fully fleshed out stuff, because I can just get the spirit and the idea down. I sometimes feel for me, when I can overwork a piece of art, like just work it to death, and I feel like it kind of loses its spirit. If I keep retooling it and redoing it and tweaking things, which is why I think I had problem with doing it professionally because I felt like so many corrections and stuff that it just lost its soul. Martha's is going skating on Friday nights, even though I never really learned how to skate. Friends were fun. I would coast to the wall. I tried doing that skating too. I think I was kind of like that as well, though I didn't have fun because I was slipping and sliding all over the place. Catherine says, "Am I crazy, or are you kind of a cross between Bob Ross minus the painting and Mark Kistler cartoon drawing?" I that is very flattering. Thank you. Um, People say that my voice is very soothing, and I used to love watching Mark, the Secret City. I think that was his show. Where he'd do all those cartoons and stuff. That was a very cool program. I don't know if I never really drew along with him, but I definitely loved watching what he would come up with. He was, I think he's still around. I think he's got a YouTube page. Last time I was looking around, he's still doing stuff, so that's cool. Michelle said, "If I tried skating now, I'd bust my tail." Yeah, that's definitely something I would be concerned about for myself as well, because I have broken my tailbone and it is no fun. I still have nagging issues, and this happened to me. I broke my tailbone when I was in middle school. I think I was about 12 or 13. But I just remember it was really hard sitting down, getting up from sitting in the chairs in class, and then sneezing. It was all over. That was no bueno. Diane. Lauren wants to know if I'd ever do a portrait of Nana. Maybe. I don't know. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's see, I gotta find a thicker line weight for a pen here. Sorry. Michelle wants to know who saved me from drowning. I saved me from drowning. Just miraculously, somehow instinctively knew how to get out of the situation. I don't know how. I mean, some people might have say divine intervention, but for some reason, I was able to pull my wits about me and get myself out of what was happening. But again, watch the video. It's a whole story. Yeah, I'm glad I made it out too. But it just really, Michelle, it just amazes me, like how any of us survived childhood, especially back in the '80s. Um, did some really stupid things, and don't know how I was able to escape unscathed. Hi, Sherry. Thank you. It's funny. I used to love wearing sneakers and shoes, but ever since I've been in Florida, I rarely do I ever wear sneakers. I've not bought a new pair because it's always so hot. I just want to wear my flip flops all the time. Like it has to be really cold, or if we go to Disney, I just don't want to get blisters and stuff. So that's why I will wear my sneakers then. Mariella, I do have to draw about my John Denver story. Yes. Why was John Denver my lifelong nemesis? I'll have to keep you guys in suspense a little longer for that. Sorry for not being on yesterday. I was trying to go online and, as usual, not a tech savvy person, didn't know what I was doing, couldn't get my computer to boot up. Um, Ran into the same issue today. Bring it over to Nana, come back, opens up fine, no problem. I mean, as far as I am concerned, it was magic. Oh, I'm getting paged. What's happening? Hey Google, broadcast to master bedroom. Oh, oh. She's trying to talk to me. I must be either not talking loud enough or I'm moving my camera around or something. I don't know. Something I'm not. Michelle says, I hate real shoes. I always wear Crocs. Can't stand anyone. Can't stand anyone. Um, you know, Jameli has Crocs and she wore them and went to Disney. It was funny. People were like just cracking up looking at that dog. I remember one, who was it? It was, oh, I'm zoomed in too close. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit so you guys can see a little bit more what's going on. Now it's really too close. Oh, my head was in frame. Of course, I tend to do that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, it was funny because we even heard some people speaking in Spanish. Uh, Anne and I, someone walked by and they're like, "Mira, pero con Crocs." I'm like, it's pretty funny. But yeah, she. It took her like a few minutes. She was kind of walking funny, but she's a Jamela's a real trooper. She like really knows how to just roll with the punches. Because I would say 5-10 minutes in, she was just walking like it was no big deal. I was very impressed. And she wore them all day until like the sun started going down. Then we took them off. Yeah, I often since Nana's not in the room with me, she is moderating, but she'll tell me if I forgot something or I need to do something, technical. And in this case, I think sometimes I get too into what I'm drawing, and my head just shows up in here. So um, just reminding me to be aware of that, which is good because nobody wants to see my big melon head while they're looking at the drawing. Thank you guys. Wow, Anne says, I almost drowned in a lake. My brothers and sisters helped me up. They grabbed my long hair and pulled me out. Wow. Well, I'm glad they knew what was going on. Because a lot of times when people are having trouble in the water, you don't, it's not like the movies where you're like calling for help, but you get really quiet because you're just so focused on trying to like keep your head above water and breathe and stuff. And that's why you always got to watch and see, what's going on when people are in the water, especially kids. Actually, I almost drowned again a few years ago when I went to Hawaii. I swam out to this floating kind of dock thing, and with my cousin and some of her friends, and I ended up getting a cramp when I was coming back, and I just knew like if I panicked, that would be it. So I just kept focusing on. I closed my eyes so I couldn't see how far away I was from the shore, and I just listened for um, where I could hear the people at the beach, and I just kept like did like a breaststroke till I got close enough, and finally I tried to put my foot down, and I could, but I knew if I freaked out, I would have been a goner. So yeah, you really definitely have to respect any large body of water. Michelle, Anna, I believe, is doing some schoolwork, and Nana is monitoring this live from the other room. Brenda, I wants to know if I have my sketches already in mind, or do you basically freestyle? It's a little bit of both. Like I kind of have a basic idea of what I want to do, and then I sort of on the fly come up with how I'm going to do it. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, Tina says that she almost drowned in a pool. I almost did too. I remember I was at a family reunion. It was about maybe 6, 7 up at Lake Tahoe, and I was in the pool. My cousins were on, my uncles were on, and I got out away from the edge, and I ended up um, starting to go under, and I could see them playing, but no one was paying attention to me, and I thought I was a goner, but I think my uncle saw me at the last minute. He's a big, strong guy. He just lifted me out with one arm, so I was lucky that time. Oh man, Heather, I'm sorry. Definitely traumatized. I think so. Jameli, she's like a double water dog, right? So she's part Labrador Retriever and part Golden Retriever. Both dogs are been bred to love the water, and most of them will willingly, and even if you don't want them to, just jump in water, and they love it. However, Jameli does not care for the water, and we think, um, just from some stories that we heard from when she was a puppy, she actually fell into a lake and she had to be pulled out. And I think she just, after that, she's like, nope. So, I mean, she's not scared of water, but she definitely does not care to be in pools or any type of body of water. She's okay with baths and stuff, but any place where she feels like she can't put her feet on the bottom, she wants really nothing to do with. So when we go in the pool, she'll just like watch us, and sometimes she'll whimper because she's like, oh, I can't go in, but I'm too scared to go in, but I want to be with you guys. So that's why we don't push it with her. There's no reason to, just like you, like, don't throw somebody in just to make them try to swim. I mean, back in the day, like that was kind of like the thing people did, but I don't think people really do that kind of stuff anymore. Don't want to traumatize people any more than they might already be. And if they really want to learn how to swim, then they'll seek it out on their own. I think it's good that people should know some basic things just to like float and maybe do a couple of little strokes just so they don't drown. But it can be very scary. Like, again, like I said, like I knew if I panicked on all those occasions that I almost drowned, then that would have been it. Oh, see, Mariella, same thing with Ruby. Okay. Yeah, Heather, you're right. There is definitely a window where up to 16 weeks where what you introduce and how you introduce situations and to dogs, it will imprint on them for a lifetime. So very important to socialize your dog and not have them have any bad experiences within those first 16 weeks. And they've even broke it down by the week, like certain things to expose them, certain things to keep them away from. It's very interesting. But yeah, if you don't know how to swim, stay in the shallows. It's better for everyone, for yourself, mostly. Yeah, see, I see a lot of people here talking about their dogs that do not care for water. It's, it happens, unfortunately. But we don't try to push it. We don't try to force them. If they don't want to do it, we don't make them do it. Okay, let's get into this racing stuff here. Recolor this in. I like to keep a little bit of my sketching part in just to keep it a little bit more lively. But I just try to get all the excess stuff off. You have an 8th-month golden doodle, loves the bath, but not sure about lakes and stuff. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to take him and see if he likes to swim. Yeah. Golden doodles, I mean, they've got that lab and or golden retriever gene, so the ones I've met tend to like it, just like goldens and labs. One thing about golden doodles is I have to say, if you don't already know, you might know by now, please always groom them. They have that curly hair and they've got the undercoat underneath, and it gets all bound up if you don't groom them, just like huskies. You really got to groom them all the time. Like, get down deep, not just with a brush. You need like a rake and perhaps a detangler if you're comfortable using that in some cases. Because I'll tell you, people bring their doodles to the groomers all the time, and then they come back, their dogs are like shaved down because there was no maintenance done in between bringing them to the groomers, and their fur got all bound up underneath. And then on top of that, when dogs' undercoats get all bound up like that, it's very uncomfortable for your dog, because as they move, if it's all bound up underneath, it pulls at their skin and also causes little hot spots too. So please, anybody with a doodle, maintain that grooming in between the time you bring your dog to the groomers. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, Heather, it's true. Doodles are like, anytime a doodle shows up at the groomers, the groomers usually do, oh, it's a doodle. We're gonna have to like try to see if we can untangle the undercoat, and if not, we're just gonna have to shave the poor thing down. So yeah, anybody who has a doodle who doesn't know about that or is thinking about getting a doodle, you better educate yourself on maintenance of undercoats and stuff, please, for their sake. All right. Yeah, a lot of people, the sound effects of whether it be racing or the markers that I'm just about to get into. I think that's cool. If people like anything that I'm doing, I'm happy about that. All right. Let's see. Actually, find the right colors here. All right, here we go. Okay. All right. Glad you're here, Colleen. I am good, Tammy. How are you? Heather, yeah, people, one of my buddies said I should just start tagging all my stuff as ASMR because of the sounds and that I'm just kind of mellow when I'm talking. It's a good idea, but I don't know if people will be like, that's not ASMR. He's not whispering. But it might be good just to like throw those keywords in. Diane wants to know, have you guys thought about getting a doggy splash pad? As a fact, we have one, and Anna's been like hounding us, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended, about maybe doing a live with us introducing that to Jameli. However, it's just not been warm enough. So we want to do it. We just want to do it on a day where it's like kind of sweltering outside so that she's more likely to be receptive and open to trying it out. Karen, have I done any Pacific Ocean drawings? Well, this is a Pacific Ocean drawing. So, yes. And also the one of me where I was drowning. And I think I did a picture of me hanging out with a dog at the beach. That was also Pacific Ocean. Thank you, Beth. It's 70 degrees in Ohio, Tammy says. Well, yeah, that's great because the last time when we were in Ohio when we were picking up Jameli, it was pretty cold. Pretty cold. Definitely not 70 degrees. Maybe one day it was in the 70s, but mostly I recall it being cold. I was smart. I put my scratch piece of paper underneath here so that the marker ink wouldn't bleed through to the next page. But I remember that. You know, I'm very tend to be very absent-minded and forget about things, but in this case, I remembered to do what I was supposed to do. One thing I can't really do when I'm drawing for you guys is like turn the page. Like I tend to, if I was drawing this on my own, I would turn this whole canvas or pad as I needed. But I don't want the whole image to get out of view from you guys. But if you guys are drawing, then you don't have to conform to any, like, I have to keep it this way. Like, if you need to turn it, you turn it. You do what you got to do. Another cool thing, little tip, if you guys are drawing and you want to kind of check your work to see if it looks okay, hold it up in the mirror. You can kind of start seeing imperfections that you might not have noticed when you were just looking at it as you're working on it. I often do that when I'm doing professional stuff. Oh, cool, Heather. Okay, well, I guess I will. Heather says, I've watched videos from small business owners who do packaging videos for people's orders. They tag it as ASMR and talk in the videos. I like the talking and the noise. Okay, well, yeah, my buddy told me that ASMR is like almost like it is or almost is or is one of the number one things on a lot of these video social media things, pages and sites. So, yeah, I think I should start tagging them that way. See what happens. See if I can get more views that way. I don't know what ASMR stands for, but it's those videos you may have seen of people. They do make it. It focuses on them doing some type of activity. They're very quiet, and you just hear the sounds of whatever it is that they're doing. And it's very like relaxing. And if they do talk, they tend to whisper. But just sort of a niche. Jordan wants to know when to finish the Lego set. I might do that off camera, but I'll definitely show it. Or maybe I'll do it as a video, just like not a live. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I can do it pretty quickly. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Tammy. Yeah, I could, Leanne. That's a good idea. I could do like a time lapse video. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, for the Lego set. Yeah. Speed up the Lego build. I have to see how that. I have to figure out how the camera would work with that. It's a good idea. We live in Orlando, but we have yet to go to Legoland. I'm very interested in that. I know Anna is. Thanks, Charlotte. Beth, you could put down some Kokomo music. Well, I'm glad that people find these relaxing, these videos. Um, Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Laura. Karen says, when I moved from California, I never thought I'd miss the ocean. Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, I mean, really. If you grow up around the ocean and then you're no longer around it, you miss it. You miss those things that you took for granted. Lynn, this beach is Muir Beach in Marin County in Northern California. Now you know where that is. Yeah, that's cool. The thing about Northern California is it's a lot of people have this impression that all of California is like Los Angeles and the beaches are warm and there's palm trees, and it's only like that down in Southern California. Northern California, the beaches are um, the water's a lot colder. I mean, if you're a surfer, on any surfer, they always wear wetsuits when they go surfing in the Bay Area. because you'll get hypothermia if you hang out too long out there. Yes, Diane, it is very similar to Oregon coast. Ah, Karen, Half Moon Bay beach parties. Nice. I like Half Moon Bay. It's pretty foggy out there. Like the thing about the Bay Area is you can't dress for wherever you happen to be. Like you have to dress in layers. The rule is wear layers because there's so many different hills and valleys that there's all these little microclimates, and you could be in a place that's freezing cold, or not freezing cold but miserable, like wet and foggy, windy, in the 50s or 40s, and then different part of the day in a different area you could, wearing your t-shirt. So you have to wear like sweatshirts and windbreakers, and underneath that you wear your kind of warm weather clothes just in case you go to a place where it's colder. And that could just be, a few miles away from where you started out at. Also, in the summer, I see a lot of tourists wearing, they think it's California. I'm gonna wear my shorts and t-shirt, and they go out on the Golden Gate Bridge, and in the afternoon the fog rolls in, and they freeze their pants off. It gets windy, it gets foggy. So I would say do your research if you're going to go to San Francisco about what kind of clothing you should be wearing, or if you have friends or family, ask them, and they'll tell you. They'll probably tell you wear layers. Oh, cool, Martha. You went to Big Sur, Carmel, Monterey Bay. Did you guys go to the Cannery Row, Monterey Bay Aquarium? Love that place. Hey, Joanne. Well, enjoy your day, Diane. Thank you for hanging out. Karen, you used to surf in Santa Cruz. That's pretty cool. I mean, I've been to Santa Cruz, but it was a bit of a drive, especially because you go over that highway. What is it, 17? Kind of treacherous. But one place I like in the Santa Cruz area, I think it's near, what is it, Ben Lomond or Boulder Creek. It's a Bigfoot museum. They got a Bigfoot museum over there, up there in the mountains. It's pretty cool. Yes, that's where it is. Vintage Park, Pink Crafter. Yes, Felton. That is where the Bigfoot Museum is. Felton. There you go. Couldn't remember the name of that town. That's where the Bigfoot Museum is. If you ever want to go, if you're in Northern California and you want to see some Bigfoot stuff, go to Felton. They've got a Bigfoot museum there. Mariella, that sounds like pretty smart. I lived in Oregon Coast for my early 20s. We played around the edges of the ocean in summer. Never really went in for a swim. Yeah, it's cold, and people get washed into the ocean out there all the time. Um, did you ever go to Astoria? I think that's where they filmed Goonies. I always wanted to go visit Astoria. Apparently, there's a lot of controversy because people that own the house that the Goonies was filmed at like the tourists coming by, but the next door neighbor like hates it. So there's a lot of animosity. All right, Martha. Thank you for hanging out, and I appreciate you hanging out. And yeah, catch us on replay. Thanks, Jennifer. All right, Joanne. Thanks, Lorna. See, yeah, Miria, this is what I'm talking about. Like, just you have memories of places that you can't necessarily just go out and go to again. Um, but they're very much alive in your memories. That's what I was kind of wanting to touch on today. It's I like the fact that those can't be taken away until you lose your memory or you're no longer here. Doesn't matter if you have the photos or any keepsakes, as long as you have your memories of those times, they will always be around. I you know I've lost things in my life, keepsakes, and I felt bad about it, but I just had to come to terms with the fact that those are just things. Yeah, it was nice that I had those things to remind me, but I really, at this point in my life, I don't need that to remember because they always travel with me. So when I move, I don't have to worry about like boxing it up and hauling it around because I have my brain. As long as I have my brain, my memories, and you do too. And then when you forget, if your memory does go, it won't matter, right? Because you won't remember it. Yeah, Amy, but it is true. When you lose your memories, they are lost. My Gramps, he lived till he was 100 years old, and he started getting some dementia at the end. But I feel like, one of the things was great about my gramps lived till he was 100. So, like when you have family members and you're like, oh, I wish I asked them about this, or I never really got to talk to them about that. With my gramps, he was around for so long. I feel very complete in my relationship with him because I was able to talk to him about things and ask him about things, sometimes even multiple times. And so he's gone now. And even when his memory was getting a little bit, not as sharp as it was, I remember, and my dad remembers, and we keep him alive through those memories. And you do too, because I'm sure with your father, you remember the stories. You were there for some of those stories, or he told you about some things, maybe. So that's what's important. Even though, yes, it was very hard to watch that happening, and I don't wish that upon anybody. But silver lining. We always got to think about silver lining, right? I feel very fortunate because my parents are all still here, and I dread having to be a time when that doesn't happen. But I know they will always be alive in my memories and for me, because I'm part of them. Joanna, yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from. My mom's the same way. She likes to keep things. She attaches a lot of sentimental value to stuff. I think for me, I've moved a lot over the course of my life. So it just became such a burden to have to carry things around. When you move a lot, you get sick of having to tote stuff around. So I think that's kind of how I was able to get away from that. And there's nothing wrong with keeping stuff, but I'm just, that's kind of how I evolved to that point, to that viewpoint. Just didn't want to tote stuff around with me all the time. Now, if you've lived in some place for a long time, that's kind of hard because you've accumulated stuff. If you've lived in a place for a number of years. So I don't envy anybody that has to go move after being someplace for a long time. It was hard enough for me to move out here. And, I didn't have that much, but it was still, at some points I felt very overwhelmed. So I'm glad I didn't have all that stuff with me. And I still have some stuff that's in storage back in California. So, I mean, at some point we have to go back and get it. So that's something I have to look forward to. It's not that much, though. It's a very small storage locker. Oh yeah. See, yeah, downsizing, Heather. Yeah, at some point you might want to downsize, and then what? How do you decide what do you keep? It's tough. And then this is my biggest nightmare about our next move. How on earth to move our belongings, furniture, etc. Yes, I mean it's gonna be not fun. Especially because we know we're gonna move at some point. We don't know exactly when, but it will happen. Perhaps Shannon. I don't know how we're gonna do all that. There's a lot of unanswered questions that need to be addressed before I grab my stuff. Thanks, Joanne. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying this, Johanna. Thanks, Julie. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to do here? Bye, Mary. Thank you, Gail. Hello, Carol from the UK. Thanks, Mary. Well, Michelle, if you didn't get any notification, I would say try to click on this right now there's like maybe like a button with that you can click on somewhere on this drawing, or there might be some dots up at the top, and you can possibly get notifications for lives for this page. And you might find, if you've already done that, maybe have been unsubscribed, because sometimes the powers that be will do that. For whatever reason. Usually has to do with updates. Cool. Let's see. I don't typically draw landscapes, but I like to just try different things to push myself, get myself out of my comfort zone. But I think I'm coming into the home stretch here. All right, let's see. Looking for one marker here. There it is. This is the blending marker. I think it's just alcohol. It's got no color to it. Just helps smooth stuff out. I think that should do it for today. I've been doing this for like an hour and a half now. So I'm going to wrap this up and put the date down. What we got here? We are the 11th. All right. Thank you guys so much. I enjoyed reminiscing with you, and remember all your memories, whether you have items to remember them by or not, they all exist in your mind. You're still alive. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.